So if I were to go back in time and give myself a couple of tips on things that I should have been doing as an operator or as a leader in roofing, now that I've made that transition into HVAC, I think a big thing is roofers. We would always focus on the big jobs. Everybody wants the big juicy jobs with high profit margins. You can get in, you can get out quick, make a bunch of money. And while that's nice, the advantage I think that HVAC companies has is they focus on acquiring a customer first. And you can get a customer for cheap if you want to do a repair, right? So a lot of roofing companies, I think they make the mistake by turning down or not entertaining the small jobs, a small repair that gets them in the door, right? Or even a very, very low monthly membership program, and that'll help build their client base. Yeah, so I'm Juan Baltazar. I'm the director of sales at Genz-Ryan down in Burnsville.
And we're grateful to be serving them. We did their website. Go check it out, Genz-Ryan.com. We're super grateful that you took the time to be out of your day today.
We have a beautiful website. We're thankful for that.
Yeah, and I wanted to just ask about this topic of like for even HVAC and plumbing companies that aren't as sophisticated too. You know what I mean? Like, I think that you guys do things that are just far and away better and above than a lot of companies around the country. Obviously grown just a lot over the last 5-10 years. So what are those things that you think are missing, I guess, for others?
Yeah. So, I mean, part of it is we start the day off with a huddle. Mm-hmm. Our whole entire leadership team gets together. We have a huddle. We look at all of the calls that are going to be on the board for our HVAC team, our plumbers and electricians. So we get all of the big decision makers, all the leaders in the same room. We look at what's on the board for that day, and we come up with a game plan, and we make a tactical plan for how we're going to win the day. That's huge. We also pull a lever at 2:00. So depending on how things go from that first meeting until 2:00, if we need to make some adjustments, throw out a special or a discount for a short period of time, we can do that to make sure that if we're falling behind on our goals for the day, this stops us from losing the whole day, and we can still make some shifts and still win the day.
That's really cool.
We never really did that in the roofing world. No. You just issue out all your leads in the morning, and at the end of the day, you look back and go, "Oh, great, we had a 50% close percentage, or we had a 70%, or wherever." But you don't make these on-call decisions, these audibles throughout the day.
Okay, so I'm an idiot about HVAC and plumbing close rates, because when I see a certain number, like I'm like, people talk about 50 and 60 almost being low in HVAC and plumbing. Like, is the people just flexing, or because I'm used to, like, if you're closing 30% roofing, it's fine. Is it just because there's low tickets mixed in there, and it's just easier to close that, or why do people expect such a high close rate?
Yeah, so it's kind of a loaded question, right? So it really kind of depends what kind of call you're running. Yeah. Now, our project managers, some HVAC companies call them the comfort consultants. That would be probably the closest thing to a straight up salesperson. So we have a company generated lead, customer wants a quote, project manager goes out, gives a quote for a new furnace or an AC or a water heater, whatever it is, and they go and they close it. If we can get a project manager that'll close at 40%, that's pretty good. That's a reasonable close percentage to expect for a project manager. Yeah. And now you got a service technician that goes out to a call that, let's say right now in Minnesota, it's getting cold outside. If somebody's furnace is out and we send a technician out there to look at their furnace, we expect them to make a sale on that, and that should be north of 70%. You think about it for a moment, right? Like, you send a roofer out to a house that has a big giant hole in it, should he close that deal or not?
Many homes suffer from inefficient HVAC systems due to leaky ducts, leading to uneven room temps, lost airflow, and higher energy costs. AeroSeal's innovative sealant technology targets and repairs leaks, improving airflow and efficiency. Increase your customer satisfaction, increase sales, and offer a unique market advantage. Become a leader in HVAC efficiency. AeroSeal.com.
Yeah, there you go. It's kind of like the level of need. If the need is super high, that's what I like about oh shit industries. This is like, to me, plumbing, HVAC, and roofing are all oh shit industries.
Exactly. Well, and there's a lot of people that like to be proactive though too. So one of the biggest differences that I've seen in the HVAC world is we offer free or just super cheap tune-ups. We advertise $27, $47 tune-ups all the time. Right now, as we're transitioning in the winter, we have a BOGO $47 tune-up. So we'll come out and look at your furnace, and we'll throw in looking at the air conditioner for free. So for $47, you can have one of our technicians come out, do a basic tune-up on your system. Now that gets us in the door for cheap to a customer. We give them amazing service by our technician, and that customer is going to be with us for life. Now they might have a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old system, but now we've acquired that customer for a pretty low price, right? And as long as we treat that customer well, in the future, when their equipment does eventually break down, they're going to come to us for their replacement. We don't, as a company, we don't make money on a $47 tune-up or a repair. That just brings customers in the door.
Yeah.
If roofers and other exterior companies took that same mindset
Roof tune-up.
to acquire a customer for a low dollar
Roof
amount.
tune-up and a gutter cleaning.
That's it.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. But surely you brought some stuff over to Genz-Ryan from roofing. Was there any things that you feel like you've like brought from roofing that was like a good insight to your team there?
Yeah. So, I think one of the number one things is, and people in the HVAC industry, they think it's competitive. They think it's a dog-eat-dog world. It is. But when you've got a handful of competitors versus in the roofing world, we had thousands and thousands of competitors. So for me, it's almost like what I bring in is just be the best, bring the most amount of value every single time to the customer, and we're gonna win. There's a lot of HVAC companies out there.
Yeah, it was super competitive in roofing, and like 5 people knocking on the door at the same time. Because you were part of door knocking.
Oh yeah, I would knock on people's doors. Hello, I'm Juan with XYZ Roofing. They're like, you're the 17th person at my door.
Do you guys ever think about that? Like with HVAC and plumbing, you guys are probably not knocking doors, huh?
We don't knock doors. I actually.
Why not? Like this is
So-
this is a real question. I
Yeah.
have. Like I would think you might as well knock the neighbors.
Which we do, right?
Okay.
We do the yard signs.
Okay.
We have door hangers. But when I came to a meeting with all the leaders when I first started and said, you guys are missing out big time. You need to knock on doors. There's tons of money in door knocking. And they're like, you're nuts.
Yeah.
You're never going to get the technicians to knock on doors. And so while I found out that is true for the most part, you're never going to get a technician that's making $45 an hour plus commissions on his deals. You're never going to get this guy to go out and knock doors for hours. It's just not going to happen. I came from that mentality that was the only way. If you wanted to grow your business, you knocked more doors, right? But we do 6-pack neighborhoods, and we do count on our guys to hit the neighbors on each side, put the yard signs out, that
Like
kind of
that.
thing.
So you at least do that.
We do.
Okay, that's all I really care about.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing is if I'm starting a business like this, first of all, I'm going to market with door knocking. I'm going to market because you have to be scrappy. And then my buddy Jason Walker in California, he did the same. Like you just have time
You do.
at the beginning of a business, and you're trying to get 5 guys quick, and you just say, all right, we're going. And he had a creative strategy. His was it's like a 5-can tune-up.
Mhm.
So you get 5 cans. We're going to give them to the local food
Yep.
shelf, and then we'll do a tune-up for you. So it was literally like, we're going to do the tune-up basically for free.
Yeah.
Plus a little donation to charity. And we're going to get our foot in the door. And occasionally there will be something.
Yeah.
Occasionally there won't. But like just like, roofing has to do all this, like door knocking. A lot of people don't know that they need a new roof, right?
Right.
It's sometimes a little less obvious. But there's this element of, if you're early, I think people should strongly consider this as a go-to-market strategy. And then if you're later, your goal is to get out of that.
Yes.
Your goal is to, as time goes on, build up such a reputation and such a marketing system that your salespeople can focus on closing deals. But that last little bit is like the knocking the neighbors. And I think like that will be my strategy. And I think like everyone meet that's smart kind of has that same mentality.
You should, right? you should always go for the low hanging fruit that's cheap. So always expect that the technicians put a yard sign out there because yard signs are cheap, right? Incentivize and come up with a yard sign program. So we actually have a yard sign program. There was one time throughout the summer we had on our Facebook page, we had customers take pictures of their yard sign. They could post them to our Facebook page, and then we'd pick out a winner for some free tickets to a Twins game or something like that. So we incentivize the technicians to do that. We also have a referral program too, where depending on the certain age of the customer's equipment, we'll actually offer the homeowner, we'll gift them 2 free memberships that they can give to any one of their friends. If their equipment's over 10 years old, we'll give them 1 free year of that. And we see value in that. This is the type of thing that like roofers would never think of. Give something
1
away
free year
for free.
of the membership?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. So if it's a $150 value, $250 or something a year, do you think, okay, well, you said $199. Do you think that's what membership, what is your guys' membership?
I mean, so we've our lowest level one is $14.70 a month. So just under $15 a month. And it goes all the way up to.
Do people cancel that a lot? Do people look at it like Netflix and they're like,
I think
if I'm not watching it.
I'd have to go back and look at our KPIs, but the last time I think I looked, we have probably less than a 2% cancellation.
Okay, so generally people are just like
super low, right? As long as you go out and you show them value in it.
Yeah.
Now we also track how much revenue we produce every week on those tune-up calls, and so it's just something that I think is genius that they embrace the concept of bringing in a customer for cheap. Actually, we're losing money for $47 to come out and do a tune-up, or even on their membership, right? We don't make any money off of them until we get to a point where we're selling them some equipment.
What is the highest level of membership?
So that's our full protection plan, and that's just under $50 a month.
Okay. So you have this range.
Yep. But also with that, they'll get up to a 20% discount on their equipment. So if you're spending $20,000 on a new furnace and an AC,
nice. That's smart.
Right? We could save you up to $4,000 on that purchase. You do the math on that.
So it's like a little bit of like I like that. That's smart.
So we sell a lot of memberships because the customers are like, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. I can save $4,000 today by spending $49.99 a month. And even that over 1 year, it's $600.
Okay, super smart. I don't think all these plumbing and HVAC companies are doing memberships that well.
Not all of them are.
I think everyone's kind of like doing it a little bit.
We just revamped ours. We use Home Pulse now, which is something that we partnered with Honeywell. They created a device that we actually can connect to the homeowner's equipment, and it's like an EKG. It'll monitor their equipment, and they can monitor it through an app. So for all of our snowbirds that want to go down to Florida, and they've got their home back here, they can monitor everything, and it's a proactive system versus what a lot of companies are reactive. So once your shit breaks down, right, then the customer calls into their company and says, "Hey, my furnace stopped working, or it's making some clickety clackety noise. Can you come out and look at it?" Well, it's already too late, right? It's broken. Our EKG system will monitor the system. We'll monitor it. And we'll tell you something's going wrong with it before it breaks. So we send a technician out to look at it.
2 other options for that. You got Smart AC now.
Yep.
Ken Goodrich is on it. They have sensors around the equipment. And then Nuve Home, Ishmael Valdez, has that, which is also, it sends alerts. I have one down in our condo in Austin, and I kind of get occasional like inefficiency alerts.
How do you like it?
Well, I think that I gotta stop there because I don't really know. I don't know enough about HVAC to say whether it's good or bad. I think it was easy to install and it's a nice looking interface.
Yeah.
I think with Smart AC, I kind of understand the idea of like you have these sensors. Mm-hmm. Why that would be good. And I think like both of them are smart. And this Honeywell product sounds super smart. I think these types of products and proactive, I wonder what I know that there will be more. There's not going to just be 3. There's going to be a bunch of them. So whatever one's good for you and yours, I think that like being able to get out. I think also, by the way, sorry, we keep going to roofing, but I think roofing needs this shit too.
They do.
And I think that what's cool, like we see these HVAC business owners like Ken Goodrich exiting companies and then investing big money in technology with things he already knew were issues that are going to be good. Ishmael Valdez exiting a company, investing in a big thing that could help contractors, right? There's these opportunities that I think are going to come up because there's a bunch of roofing companies now exiting their company. And what was the problem? What is the opportunity that you couldn't solve before? But with technology now, you will be able to. And I think even if you just take the smart AC concept over to roofing, like sensors in the attic for moisture and different things, like there's a lot of opportunity. And I'm not saying exactly like I know how it's going to get done, but I think there's like a bunch of little, and like the other one is not owning the house. So seems like the very smart thing that HVAC and plumbing companies do is they own the house. They've got the sticker on the machine. So even if you change hands, I know my house has been serviced by a particular HVAC company for 30 years. Yeah. The same guy comes out, and my wife just called the sticker when it was time, and the guy came out that's been working on it for 30 years. Yeah. So like that's something. There's just a lot of opportunity there.
Trust me, and when we come out to someone's house, guess what happens to that sticker?
Swapped. It should get swapped.
We put a sticker right over it, right? Big Genz-Ryan sticker right over it.
Tommy Mello, I mean, like they came out and serviced our garage door, like A1, not Tommy Mello himself. They came and serviced our garage door, and it was like a really cheap service. Yeah. Honestly, I was like, dude, I don't know. I guess he didn't get huge by gouging people.
Right.
Which is beautiful, but they slapped the logo. Like, so sure. I got Tommy on my, like, it's like a sticker this big. Yeah. It's like, this is who services this garage door now.
But he understands the bigger picture, right? Go out to Tim Brown's house for cheap to do a service. And as long as he gives you good service, you're going to always call A1 Garage Door anytime you have a problem, right? Mm-hmm. And if he got out to your house for this service call and your garage door had a big problem with it, or the repair happened to be so expensive that it just made more sense to replace it, now he's making money.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of the
idea.
I mean,
like you got like in his case, it was like 1,000 something, right? It was like, it wasn't like crazy. I'm assuming that they paid for the truck that day. Yeah. You know,
right. Guy made his money. He paid. Yeah. Paid for his full day.
But it's also like getting the reputation, and that's expensive actually, especially if you're entering a new market or a new service. Yeah. It's really expensive on the front end. I mean, so for instance, if you're starting a new company, we're all coached to price high and justify, and you got to get your pricing right. And everyone's worried about like getting your margins perfect. And yes, that makes a lot of sense after the first year or two, when you just have to get in and sell some shit. Yeah. You have to sell some shit. Yep. And that's the truth for any new service too. I think about like, we're just offering a new service, which is basically like AI optimization, getting traffic from ChatGPT and Google AI overviews. And like, it's similar to AI, it's similar to SEO, but it's got some additional things that you can do. You can backwards engineer what's being referenced and go affect what you can affect. Yep. And I'm like, to my very smart president of the company, he comes to me, he's like, this looks like it's a 38% gross margin. Are we willing to accept? It's like bad. It's bad.
Right. Yeah.
But he's not used to starting new things and understanding at the beginning, the margins don't look right.
Right.
The margin, like you have to you can't steer a parked car.
Right.
You have to move. You have to get customers, and then you have to optimize.
Yes.
And I think that this is the same kind of print that goes along with this, like acquire a customer cheap, because that's the hard part.
That's the hard part. Yeah.
Acquiring customers is hard.
It is. It's super hard, right? Now, once you acquire that customer, just give them world-class service, and you're going to have that customer forever. Yeah. So that's one of the biggest differences I've seen that HVAC companies really just embraced. That a lot of roofing companies. I was there. I was a sales manager for years. If a gutter lead came in or it was a repair for a leaky chimney or something, You go hand that to one of your sales guys, and they just look at it and go, I don't want to go run another gutter lead. It's like, dude, you're not looking at the big picture here. It gets you to a customer's house in front of a live human being, and that's all we need. Get this in front of a customer, and we're going to sell something out of it, right?
And having the things to sell.
Having the things to sell. We've got plumbers.
We don't just have one thing to sell.
Right. And another thing too is the tech generated leads that the HVAC companies, electrical and plumbing, they've all embraced this part too, where, in my previous life in roofing, you would give somebody a roofing lead. The guy would go out, he'd look at the roof, he'd maybe sell a roof, and then he'd leave, right? Here, we send an electrician out to a house to do an electrical, a safety inspection for a home. And he's looking at and taking pictures of their old water heater, their water softener, their furnace, their AC. They're looking at all those things. And if the customer has a concern with any of those other items, he's going to set up a tech-generated lead for one of the other technicians to come out and do their full evaluation and get us back in the door again for another opportunity to make a sale.
Still a lot of money chasing these transactions. There's still really good outcomes out there for sellers. It's good to have someone like us in your corner because we're not emotional. But guess what? When you're selling your business, it becomes emotional, and so it's really good to have an intermediary, there every step of the way. www.sfpadvisors.com. All the contact information is directly on the website.
Dig it. Well, there's a lot of things that switched in probably the experience of selling HVAC and plumbing. If this is for a salesperson, let's do a little bit for a salesperson that's thinking about making a switch or is interested in HVAC and plumbing. Maybe that's coming from roofing, since that's kind of the topic. It feels like it's kind of established a little bit. Is like, what is the difference in the sales process? Why would you recommend? Would you recommend for somebody to switch from roofing to plumbing and HVAC?
Oddly enough, a couple of my brand new project managers came from the roofing industry, and just like Genz-Ryan didn't need me to have any HVAC experience, I didn't want my project managers to have any HVAC experience. I wanted to train them from scratch. And right now, one of my project managers has close to a 70% close percentage on company-generated leads. And that's over the last month.
First of all, you're getting company-generated leads. A lot of these roofing companies don't have that.
That's right. So he's running company-generated leads where customers say, I want a quote. And trust me, every single customer is getting 3 or 4 quotes, right? They're all getting multiple quotes. And our guys right now have about a 60-70% close percentage. But that being said, the transition from roofing, one of my call-by-call coaches, he was in roofing also. Did the door knocking, storm damage. Hi, you guys got storm damage. I do a free inspection for you, meeting with adjusters and all that stuff. And now he's a call-by-call coach managing a team of plumbers. And he's absolutely crushing it right now. Because he understands too, like when a customer gives you an objection about something, oftentimes it's just a smoke screen, right? You got to help them understand the value of what's happening, that the service that you're offering them, why they need it. And you also need to give them a reason to say yes. And he gets that. And they're tenacious. Roofing sales guys, they got that dog in them. That's right. And that's what I can appreciate.
Yeah, I always call it, it's indoor versus outdoor. I feel like the roofing guys are often outdoor dogs.
They are.
And so we're a little rough around the edges. Like there's a little bit of spice.
Yeah.
I think like you get a little bit of that worn off a bit sometimes when you're doing indoor stuff and you're kind of like tiptoeing around people's, laundry to get to the water heater or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just a little bit more like
some finesse
I'm in your
to
space.
It, right?
I'm in your space. Yeah, I gotta be cognizant of you as the homeowner more versus like we're done in a day on a roof.
I love taking roofing guys and bringing them into HVAC. One of my call-by-call coaches, he was in roofing. My rehash specialist who calls and rehashes all of any deal that didn't close from our team, he rehashes all those. He was from roofing. My new project manager, he was from roofing. And
how's the money different though? Like,
well, so that's a great question. It's a lot more stable for him now.
Stable, but maybe less crazy months, like on the big side. Because like if a storm hits, like you're like
Well,
you're in one of those wind tunnels with the dollar bills
Yeah.
kind of thing.
and that's a loaded question too, right?
Stressful,
Because
though.
yeah, it's stressful. And then what do you do after the storm is over? So who wants to just great? They can go out and make 60 or 70 grand or 100 grand or whatever in one season. But then what? Then you don't know what's going to happen until the next storm hits, or you got to follow that company to the next storm, pack up all your shit, and go move with them.
Talk to me about seasonality then, in comparison.
Yeah.
Because there's the ability to do plumbing, but like as far as like we got heating,
Yeah.
but like as far as like the switch back and forth compared to roofing seasonality.
Yeah. So the most probably the constant is going to be plumbing, right? They're just people always need plumbing, whether it's winter, fall, summer. The plumbing division of ours is probably the most stable. And then HVAC, of course, it has its ups and downs, right? You've got your demand season. And so in Minnesota, we have a huge demand in the winter. So as soon as it gets cold, we got a demand for furnaces more. In the summer, there's more of a demand for ACs. What's really interesting that I found out, and it was kind of a surprise to me, was people in Minnesota, they don't like to be without their air conditioners. They will freak the hell out. As soon as it gets hot out and there's a problem with their AC, we got to get there right now. They want a new AC. They will not live without air conditioning. Furnace, on the other hand, people in Minnesota are resilient. They'll do without a furnace they'll turn on a fireplace. They'll get a heated blanket. They'll put little heaters all around the house. Yeah. They'll do with a broken furnace, but they will not spend one day with a broken AC. Yeah. It's crazy.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Compared to like Minnesota as an HVAC company, it doesn't seem like it's like you look down at like Arizona and California. It seems like you got some extreme wealth coming out of that industry down there. Compare the industry, and maybe it's just because Minnesota is just more humble sometimes.
Minnesota nice.
Sorry, South people. Like I mean, like Minnesota, like literally, like I think my brother's a preacher. In Wisconsin, and it's like if he shows up with too nice of a car, like the congregation's getting weirded out, you know.
Oh yeah, I get it.
He had like a Tesla or something, and like they're like, oh, and like, dude, it's like a huge church, and it's like he's not allowed to have a Tesla. It's just a Tesla. So, but down in the South, they're like showing up with a Rolls Royce and So there's a little bit more like of a culture of like I don't want to say it in a way that makes it sound like I'm being negative to the South. Yeah. But there's like, people don't like it if you show off up here. Yeah. Kind of. Doesn't that feel like that? It's
I totally get it.
Like maybe that's part of it, why it doesn't seem like it's crazy as like.
Well, nobody ever really like talks about, hey, come and check out my new furnace.
Yeah.
Let's go look at my new water
I'm
heater,
saying
right?
like the business owners of these like HVAC and plumbing companies, it doesn't feel like there's like this culture of showiness.
The Lambos and the giant trucks that are
people are
lifted up
doing
on
very
wheels.
well.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing very well.
And that's good. I mean, I think it's an interesting thing because it's like sometimes the benefit of the showiness down south is that it's a little bit easy. Like people find that attractive. Like in roofing,
right?
And roofing in Minnesota, like they do a lot of like the Rolexes and the big trucks and stuff like that. Yeah. And that's like partly to attract the sales guys. Right. Yeah. So it's like, how do we show them that HVAC and plumbing is extremely lucrative? And you can do very well. You can make into the hundreds of thousands of dollars if you crush it in this industry without doing showy stuff. Yeah. It's kind of my real question.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know how to answer that, I guess.
How do you, like, what do you say on the front end when you're like comp plan stuff with people? Like, because in roofing, they're always like, this can make 100K plus.
Yeah.
And like, what do you, like, how does that pitch go?
Yeah. I mean,
or is it just more comfortable so you don't have to pitch as hard?
Well, I'm a lot more. There's not much of a hard pitch, right? Because to me, there's a few things. One, what's attractive about working a storm for 3 months, work it super hard, and then what happens after that? There goes all your security, right? And I did that for years. I made a lot of money. I made a great living for years working storms all across the country, trained up a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of my friends that are going to watch this video that are going to say, oh, Juan was the GOAT. Juan helped me make a bunch of money.
Comment below. Hype them up, y'all. Hype them up.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We as men need more encouragement hype one up, tell him the truth. Did he help you? Drop a thing. If you guys know him, say what's up.
You know Aaron Bethke, so
Yeah.
he's a champ. I mean, the guy's out killing it. I worked with Aaron for years.
Yeah.
My very first gig as a sales manager, Aaron was one of my sales guys.
Nice.
And you talk about a dog, that guy would get it.
Yeah.
And he's been playing this game for, 20 years.
Yeah.
We've been in this game for a long time. So there isn't much of a sales pitch, but I think a lot of guys are getting sick and tired of knocking on doors, right? Trust me, for years and years and years, I preached about how important it was. I would only hire roofing salespeople if they were willing to go out and knock doors. If you came into an interview and I told you, hey, knocking doors is part of this job, and you said, no, I'm not going to do it. The interview's over, and I'm going to go get myself some coffee, and you're going to get walked out. Yeah. If you're willing to knock doors, then we're going to continue, right? And your performance over those next few months is going to tell me whether or not you're going to make it at all for the next year or not. But a lot of the roofing business is predicated on knocking on doors. That's a big problem for a lot of people. You got a lot of great salespeople out there, but they just don't want to knock on doors, right? There's some great salespeople, they just don't want to knock doors. Our guys aren't expected to knock doors. There's more consistency, right? And in the winter here in Minnesota, you're off for like 3 months minimum. What do you do for those 3 months? You better be good at budgeting your money.
Well, just in case there are people watching that are roofing, I want to throw out there's a lot you can meet with realtors and insurance agents. You can become a master networker. And I think this probably goes for all these industries. Like, become a master networker. If you have a higher percentage on self-generated leads or things like that, to be a person who can contribute, you have more control over your destiny in that type of way. And I'm thinking about like any home service business is a type of network marketing in a way. Like the ability to create a good impression on people and get them to refer you is such a big deal. So that world-class service you talked about.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. I spent
But
years,
I know that there's time off.
Yeah. I mean, I spent years over the winter months. That's what we focused on, right? Building your network of realtors, property management companies, insurance agents, things like that. The smart, good salespeople in roofing, that's what they do. That's what they spend their winters doing, to build that pipeline up. But
just in case there's roofers watching,
No hate, guys. No hate on roofing.
No, I mean, I think it's a beautiful industry. I think that, I think just to give some respect on roofing to the HVAC and plumbing people, I think, because there's a lot of people coming over now the other way, which is funny. Like 3 years ago, it was me coming over from roofing into HVAC and plumbing. And now, like about halfway through, I start seeing people go the other way as investors, and stuff like that. Like, because it's an unsophisticated industry on average comparatively to HVAC and plumbing, you bring those systems over. Yes. You bring the like numbers driven, heavy duty marketing. Maybe you're on Service Titan or some other CRM and you got your numbers down, you're cranking over to a less sophisticated industry. You can kind of blow competitors out of the water in the world-class service thing. Like the ability to do that. So to give that context of why roofing is awesome for those people, just because I think we're getting both with this, is from my point of view, the opportunity is very high to level up that industry. And you do have extremely hardworking, like driven individual, a lot of operators that are like kind of grittier. Like imagine if you had higher ticket, they're usually good salespeople. Like there's a lot of great people in roofing and a lot of great operators that, frankly, I mean, if they had a little bit more sophisticated numbers driven processes and higher focus on lead gen, and then like it's pretty quickly a better business. I think trying to say that in a way I'm trying not to tiptoe around eggshells, but it's like there are a lot of great people and there's a lot of opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, if you look at it at the end of the day, right, whether it's a roofing company, a carpet cleaning company, window washing company, or an HVAC company, most of these guys are really a sales and marketing company at the front, and then they're a service provider on the back end. Whatever it is you're selling, whether it's shoes or window washing or whatever, they're a sales and marketing company first. And a lot of the roofing companies, that's what they are, right?
Well,
They just
that's
happen
a
to sell
benefit.
roofing.
That's actually a benefit, right? Like the fact that like there's no shame in roofing around subcontractors.
Yeah.
Like there probably is in most HVAC and
Absolutely.
plumbing things, and it kind of makes sense, right? It's
Yeah.
like, but in roofing, you can really have a couple checklists and processes in place and have the same quality on the install.
Mhm.
And yeah, I know that there's some really awesome roofing companies out there that have in-house crews, and my hat's off to you, friends. Like I really respect it, and some of you it's forced. In different, like in California, you have to, and
Yeah.
and in other areas, you just need the like stability
Yeah.
of the same crews. Like, and if you're a mature business, that's great. That's a cool part about roofing.
Yeah.
How does that compare? Like after experiencing that, what were the drawbacks of that compared to like working in an industry now where they'll have all the in-house stuff? Like, what's the difference there? What is the
Yeah. So it is interesting because you know, I came from that subcontracting world in roofing and siding and windows where you sold a job and then you'd line up one of your subcontractors to go out and do the job, and there would be minimal to no supervision on that crew, right? They were expected to get the job done. They got paid, and you have a happy customer.
And then often they've
So-
fixed their own mistakes.
Exactly. Here, everyone is W-2. All of our guys have benefits, 401k, medical, dental. They got all the benefits. They get paid by the hour, and they get an incentive on whatever they sell also. So we dictate where they go, when they go, how they go. And so if they do have a problem with one of their service calls and there's a warranty, they are expected to go back and fix it too. But there is a little bit of peace of mind with the customer when we tell them, yeah, your technician, he's going to be wearing the company logo on his shirt when he comes over. And we text them a little biography of that technician when he's on his way. When he gets dispatched to your house, you already get to see a little bio. You can watch a cute little YouTube video of the guy before he shows up.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. Is that automatically sent out to the CRM?
Automatically through Service Titan. Yep. As soon as they get dispatched, that homeowner receives a text message. We used to also give them a link they could click on to track them on the GPS, so they knew exactly when the guy would
There
pull
was
up.
drawbacks to that.
There were drawbacks to
Yeah.
that, so we stopped it.
Hey, I have a question more like selfishly around roofing
Yeah.
stuff. Sorry, HVAC people. It's the question around is what's your cultural sorry that this is going to
Yeah.
go in a weird direction.
Yeah.
Cultural heritage, your cultural heritage.
So my dad's from Mexico and my mom is Scotch Irish.
Okay. In that business, did you have situations where homeowners were weird about crews being, just because we're talking about the subcontractors thing, where did you have situations where, and how did you mitigate that? I mean, like, I know it's probably different if you have some of the Mexican heritage
Yeah.
versus like, and like you start looking at South American people on the roof, and some people have feelings.
Oh, trust me, I've gotten both sides, right?
Yeah.
My whole life. It's funny because the people would call the office and they would ask for Juan, and then I would get on the phone. They wouldn't believe that I was Juan because I don't sound like a Juan.
Yeah.
When I would go to a job site and I walk up and they see my face and I start talking to them and I give them a card and they see it says Juan, they're like, "This you?"
Sure.
Like, yeah, that's me. I'm Juan. It was hard for them to believe that. But even with all of that, I've sold in Minnesota. I've sold in Texas. I've sold in North Dakota. I've sold in Oklahoma, Atlanta, all over. And in those markets, people still, even up until recently, have asked, you guys use those Mexicans on the roof?
Oh, fuck.
And I'd say, yeah, well, we do.
Yeah.
And I've lost jobs because I told them, yeah, we have Mexican crews. And so it's crazy because up until 2024, people legitimately would ask that.
That's crazy.
And
by
I'm
the way.
like,
and you're
you gotta
sitting
be
there
kidding
like,
me.
oh shit, because you like kind of have a white look.
Like,
about
hello,
you. Holy
you're talking to
shit.
a Juan here. Yeah.
That would fucking kill me, dude.
it's
I
wild.
would want to be rude.
Oh, yeah. Over beers someday, I'll tell you some stories.
Okay.
I've had some crazy stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
I get it. I look like a white dude, but
but I still have
Right to my face.
I have the pride
Yeah.
of that. That would be pretty annoying.
Oh, it does. And I mean, I've walked away from
Yeah.
I've walked away from jobs where I'm like, well, we're just not going to be a good fit for you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, because it's an interesting thing because, God, that's been a little bit of a hectic scenario. Like because
Yeah.
people have been like ICE to shut up on jobs recently,
Yeah.
and even in St. Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And so, not trying to get political, but obviously, like I hope those people had criminal issues because it's pretty sad if we're just like fucking with people that are working hard on the job.
Yeah. In 2008, I worked a storm in Fargo, North Dakota. And I get a call from our customer freaking out.
Yeah.
This was 2008 in Fargo. Customers freaking out, said that they had the Department of Homeland Security and some agents had come up to the job site, saw a bunch of guys up on the roof, ordered them all to come down, lined them up along on the curb of the street, took all their IDs, and one of them didn't have his ID because his ID was left. He left it back at the hotel. So they took one of the guys back to the hotel, checked their IDs. The funny thing is, these were all white dudes with tans. So they kind of looked a little bit, you know, I mean, they could maybe pass for Puerto Rican, but they were all white dudes, and they got knocked down from the roof with them. And I mean, these guys pulled up in the black suits. They looked like the Men in Black. They had the gun holsters. Homeowner was freaking out, wondering what was going on. And she's like, are these guys illegal? I said, no, they're white people.
Which is crazy, but it's like, dude, that officer must have felt so dumb that day.
It's crazy. In Fargo.
Pretty feel dumb.
Yeah. 2008.
Wild, dude.
It's wild.
All right, well, I'm going to need to hear more of these stories. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a pertinent topic right now, what's going on, at least on the roofing side of the industry. Like, it just makes me a little sad that that's all going on.
What's funny is we had a company, a quarterly meeting every quarter here at Genz-Ryan, and we had some installers that had walked through the double wide doors into our quarterly meeting, and it was a bunch of brown guys.
Yeah.
They were obviously Mexican. And I looked over to my VP of sales and I said, what are the roofers doing here?
Yes.
But we do have,
one can make that joke. I cannot.
It was good. And we still joke about it. But he's like, if a guy comes in and he's like that and he's looking for an install job, you hire him.
Because he works hard.
They're going to work hard, right?
Respect.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And we've got some absolutely incredible installers.
As long as you hire white dudes as well.
They do. We do. We have female. We have a female electrician. We got a black female. We've got Asians. We got all colors. So no discrimination.
Good.
You just got to be smart. Well, you know, I mean, it's interesting. Like, who wants to be a roofer anyway? Right? Like, that's hard work.
Yeah.
That is hard work. I would never want to be a roofer.
Yeah.
I've done it before.
Yeah.
I would never want to do that now. That's just way too hard. I'm humble enough to admit that. I'm okay with that. There's guys out there, I don't care what color they are. Anyone else but me can put a roof on.
Yeah. Hey, well, there you go, dude. There's so many options. I mean, project management is a great job. Yeah. Wow, I really went off the rails on this one. We don't know how. Comment below if you hate anything I said. Well, thank you for being on the show. Where can people check you out?
You can check us out at GNZRYAN.com, Genz-Ryan.com.
And podcast is put on by hookagency.com. Hook Agency all over social media. Appreciate you guys watching. Check you out on the next one. Peace.
I can't commend Hook Agency enough on just the experience. We're talking about plumbing experience, but the experience we've had overall working with your team members on this project, they really draw out ideas that otherwise I didn't even think of, which is incredible. So thank you guys for being a valued partner of the Family Plumber. I really appreciate that.